Now that I have your attention, let's talk about sex. What's that? That joke has been done before, but by a lot of people online, and I don't have a producer. I'm talking to myself right now. Okay, should I just start the episode? Okay, let's start the episode.
My name is Ryan Wingfield, and my job is to make people happy. After years of doing stand-up comedy, I've devoted an entire year to the study of happiness. Join me each week right here on a Road Comics Road to Happiness.
So this is a bit of a no-brainer, but sex can make you happy. In fact, sex is a lot better for your happiness than even money. Economists have determined that if you start having sex with a new partner once per week, that will give you the same amount of happiness as if you made an extra $50,000 a year income. So from a happiness perspective, prostitutes are a pretty good investment. Good luck explaining that to your spouse, though. When it comes to happiness, few things can put a smile on your face faster than those special hugs that mommy and daddies give each other. Not only does it give you a feel-good buzz of endorphins and hormones, but the emotional intimacy of lovemaking goes really far in improving your happiness. This is where the previous analogy about prostitutes falls apart. Oh, no. In fact, researchers at Dartmouth studied over a decade's worth of surveys on sex and happiness and found that men and women who have sex with a prostitute or cheat on their spouse are significantly less happy than those who don't. I imagine even more so if your spouse finds out about the affair. It turns out the people who are the happiest are those who had just one sexual partner in the previous year, provided, of course, that the partner is an active sexual partner. Sex and happiness are directly related. Not only does having sex make you happier, but happy people have more sex. It's the ultimate win-win. This effect seems to be amplified with the higher one's education. I'm not exactly sure why, but my guess would be that nerds like myself are just happy that someone is interested in our genitals. Wow. However, just as money has its limits on happiness, so too is it with sex. A recent study found that the happiness that's connected to sex tops out at about once per week. I would imagine after a while, the chafing would actually turn into a negative. While the amount of sex may have an impact on your happiness, sexual orientation does not. Despite having a name that literally means happy, gay people are neither more happy nor less happy than their heterosexual counterparts, although they do have more sex on average with more partners. One would think that being bisexual alone would double your chances of a hookup. So how does your sex life compare to everyone else? Well, as long as you're happy with your sex life, it really shouldn't matter, but I know you want to find out anyways. Be warned though, studies have found that people who are happy with their sex lives become less happy if they find out other people are having more sex than they are, especially if those people are having sex with their spouses. For the record, the typical American adult under the age of 40 has sex about once per week, with a lucky 10% boasting to have sex 4 or more times per week. Supposedly these people exist, but I have yet to meet a single one. Unfortunately, nothing good lasts forever, and so too is it with one's sex drive. The average couple in their 20s will have sex 109 times per year, but by the time that couple is in their 60s, that number will drop down to 32. Still not too bad. Of course, there are those who have no sex at all, some by choice, others by lack of proper hygiene. About 10% of people under the age of 40 will have no sexual partners in the past year. However, that number jumps to 20% for men and 50% for women after the age of 40. Interestingly, the difference between no sex and very little sex is almost non-existent when it comes to happiness. I imagine the exception being teenagers who have just gone from no sex to some sex, in which case I am willing to bet you are about as happy as a person can get. That's all for this edition of a Road Comics Road to Happiness. Thank you so much for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe and leave any happy comments below. Next week, whistle while you work. How your job can affect your happiness. Until then, stay happy.